Hello YouTube, this is Morgan, Airspeed Prime here at my next Boruto chapter review for the manga. So yeah, this is going to be for chapter 4, it's called You Damn Geezer. So yeah, once again, we're still in the adaptation of the Boruto movie, so there's not a lot of hype around the chapter, just for regards to like everyone like hyping up the release of a chapter, and then just in general discussion to each chapter. And I think that's part of the problem here. We could have been chapters in like 200 or so pages into a new story with these characters, but instead obviously we're just getting an adaptation of something we already know already. And I think the main thing to take away from that is just that it's nowhere near as exciting going from a movie to a manga adaptation, whereas like in the actual anime, going from the manga to the animation actually has some interest to it because you get to see that animated with color and stuff like that. This feels like it's taking away stuff rather than adding stuff, because they're not even adding new scenes really. Now, to be fair, this chapter I thought adapted that part of the movie quite well. I think the artist continues to get better in terms of consistency. Obviously, you still sort of question some of the designs and that, like, why would you change them from the way they were in the movie? That still baffles me right now, that just why he decides to change them from the movie, when I think in general most people really liked the movie designs for all of the characters and then they just changed them. So there's that. So in terms of specifics, like, there's not really a lot I want to talk about here. The main thing is just that I did really like the way that they did the Boruto and Naruto scene, where Naruto comes home and goes in to see Boruto. I felt they really got across kind of more or less everything that the scene from the movie got across, in terms of this awkwardness between the two, that Naruto doesn't really know how to approach him. Boruto feels he has to keep up this kind of attitude around his father, but deep down so appreciates Naruto just saying, you did well and I have confidence in you, and getting a little bit into the kind of relationship with his father when Naruto offers the fist bump and, like, you gotta beat Shikadai, for the kind of rivalry between our families and stuff like that. So that scene I thought was actually really well done. The artist, I think, really manages to capture that kind of almost, I suppose, giddiness would be the best way to describe it, that Boruto feels like every time he kind of has a good interaction with his father. He doesn't want to react, but it just bursts out of him, and he's just like, I'm so happy that my father kind of approved of this. But on the other side of that, it is a lie, in that you see just before Naruto walks in, he's looking at the canister thing with the ninja tool thing that uses the capsules of ninjutsu, and that he's not doing it himself. And so, as you go into the fights, which, we're okay doing, but again, that's where animation shines, and that you're able to do those kind of montages of fights a lot better than just these panels, which maybe don't get across that much about the fights. But once we get down to the fact that it's Boruto versus Shikadai, you really see what happens here. In this moment where Shikadai gets the better of him with the kind of shadow paralysis stuff, Boruto is kind of forced to use the ninja tool in a way that makes it a bit obvious what he's doing. And Naruto notices it, which is a slight change from what they did in the movie. In the movie, Naruto had a feeling Boruto did something, and then asked Hinata to use her Byakugan to, like, confirm it, and then step down, but obviously they skip past that. So it kind of is this thing that double makes this current manga adaptation bit very kind of frustrating to kind of wait until the new content, in that, okay, so now you're basically saying we're getting less scenes than the movie, rather than this being a more in-depth kind of coverage of that story. So just them skipping over little bits like that are kind of frustrating to see, but hopefully there's only 1 or 2 chapters left. I think they more or less have to have 2 chapters. I can't, there's definitely not enough time, I don't think, in just 1 chapter with the pacing that we have right now. I think 2 chapters they could do it, but realistically we're probably looking at more like 3. But, obviously the sooner they get to new content, the better, because I don't really see the excitement for this so far. Like, the translation for this, obviously, basically comes out like almost a day later compared to like everything else. Admittedly, they're double length chapters, they're monthly chapters, but there's just no hype around them because there's nothing to discuss really, and that's the biggest frustration here. Like, there's no new content and no one really cares, and so everyone's just focused on the art, and everything is nitpicked, and the artist is kind of the whole plan of basically giving the artist a chance to kind of prove themselves is kind of backfiring because so much focus is on the art because there's no new story to be there. I personally think this whole potential plan that they're giving this new artist Ikimoto a chance to, uh, get confidence by working on kind of already done content, so he's ready going into the new content, and so kind of he's on board with what he needs to do. Um, so yeah, I personally think the art is getting better. It's definitely, it seems a lot more consistent. Definitely less problems compared to like the first chapter, especially. But it's still kind of frustrating each month to kind of see this. Again, like every month, like this kind of sneaks up on me. I'm never aware of when the chapters are coming out, and then it's just like, oh, no one was mentioning this being very close to release, and they just come out. So yep, the sooner we get away from this Boruto movie adaptation, the better. Because the thing is, I really do like the Boruto movie. It's just that people are so not interested in just this adaptation that it's actually taking away from like what is ultimately actually a really good story. It's just we've seen it before. Um, but yeah, coming up, yeah, obviously have the Otsutsuki stuff happening, so that's actually quite interesting in that that's in the anime right now. Obviously, with that flashback arc we had covering Kaguya and then Hagoromo and stuff like that. Um, especially with the flashback stuff with Kaguya, we're very directly setting up the fact that she is kind of guarding Earth, waiting because she knows like more of them are coming, and it's clearly referencing that they're Otsutsuki members, and here we get that. So it's really interesting the way the kind of anime is actually kind of linking up reasonably okay with where the manga is right now, and that if you're just involved, like this stuff happens to be happening at this point. But obviously we've obviously got the Naruto manga with before, and we've already got the Boruto movie. It's just kind of the reverse here. So yeah, just going to end it there before I start repeating myself. So in the comments, let me know what your thoughts were on the chapter if you read it, and your thoughts on my review. But other than that, I'll just say if you want to follow me on Twitter or Tumblr, social media, links in the description. And then if you want to help to support my channel so I can make more videos and better videos, links to my Patreon page and my PayPal donation link are in the description below also. But that's the video. Thanks for watching, and bye.